about to put y'all onto the single most stressful trip I've ever been on in my entire life that also somehow turned into the best trip that I've ever been on in my entire life. The mission: go to a skate festival in Barcelona, film some fire content for a brand, and roller skate to Vondelpark, my favorite John Craigie song in Vondelpark in Amsterdam. But first, I accidentally booked my flight an hour and a half away from where I actually live, so in typical ADHD fashion, we're late. If I make this, it'll be a miracle. It's 4:42 and my flight starts boarding at 4:55. Here comes TSA pre-check with the assist, once again saving me from the consequences of my own actions.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's it? Oh, sweet. Thank you. If you have ADHD and you don't have TSA pre-check, I'm going to need you to kindly stop disrespecting yourself and get it. This entire security checkout interaction took less than 30 seconds.
Do I have to take my laptops out?
No, ma'am.
I only have two pet peeves in the whole world, and that's lines and lackadaisical jaywalking. You have to be careful with this sort of power, though, because I might be addicted to the feeling of running late and walking past a line of 70 people. And what have I done to deserve this honor? I took an hour out of my day to fill out the TSA pre-check paperwork. I love public displays of affection. This couple sat and traced the lines on each other's faces. Haters will say it sounds like fan fiction, but this is the shit I capture on a daily basis in my sim. You could too, if you only know how to look. This is an 8-hour flight, so they have to feed us or the people will revolt. I decide that my one flight movie will be Eat, Pray, Love, because obviously I also need a champion, Liz. 6 hours down, breakfast. Even though we're on a plane, we still keep to our schedule as much as possible and start out with our morning recipe. This is my morning recipe. I read my goals and affirmations every day to make sure the universe and I are on the same page. We read our daily rules. We review the blueprint for our simulation. Every day we check off our affirmations and beliefs about ourselves. And we do this so that when someone comes around and tries to make us believe something different, we simply can't. It makes it so that I have a motivated refusal to participate in anything that isn't making my simulation better than it already is. In my experience, when it seemed like I couldn't catch a break, I stopped asking the universe for the bare minimum and just to make it to the next day. And when I started asking the universe for more, then the universe started giving me more. You have to be delusional about your own shit. The same way that you're delusional about that man, the one who won't buy you flowers because he's just not that type of guy. As though you're asking him to scale Mount Everest instead of just completing an extra step at the grocery store. A closed mouth doesn't get fed. Anyway, this breakfast dessert was mid. It reminded me of the candy you don't want to keep on Halloween. Doesn't matter if we're on a plane, we still journal. Being locked on a plane is somehow better than Adderall. I get so much done, perhaps it's because I'm stuck in this cocoon of having nothing to distract me. It could also be the white noise. This is what I imagine the womb sounds like. We've arrived. I love the stress of being in a new country alone. It's time to take over the world, but first, we have to floss and wash our face. The cleaning woman in here with me has chosen to passive-aggressively slam shit as a way to communicate her irritation at my American audacity. But I am unbothered, because walking out of here with a clean mouth and face after an 8-hour flight is the facial equivalent of, okay, and I still smash though. Time to get our bearings. This is my favorite part of traveling. This is where our Sims problem-solving skills really get to shine. All gifts of comfort are gone, and it's go time. Task number 1, identify transportation and secure shelter. I booked this super cute hostel. I love hostels because they're easy and inexpensive, but unfortunately I can't check in until 2, which means I now need to kill 4 hours giving my best sleep-deprived zombie impression. So on to task number 2, secure food. But first, core memory unlocked. I walk until I find some food.
Señor, ¿puedo sentarme afuera?
This was fire.
I'm barely awake.
I finally make it back to the hostel and sleep for the next 4 hours. And it only takes me another 4 to realize that actually, hostels are no longer for me. So the next morning we reset the simulation and the new task is to seek food and find new shelter. Shout out to this dude dripping main character energy early this morning making his own parking space. I also forgot to pack shorts. It's disgusting how much power shorts have over my ability to feel like my best self while wearing a mini dress. Buying shorts has been promoted to number 1. Oh, look out, world. A man wearing a power suit is equivalent to a woman wearing shorts under her mini dress. Nigh unstoppable. There's so much room for activities now. Onward to finding new shelter. I booked this hotel. After one night in that hostel, I nearly broke out into tears when I saw the consistency and execution and forced customer service smiles of capitalism. Bliss. The girl at the counter laughed in my face when I told her I had been staying at a hostel.
You were in a hostel.
But soft, What light through yonder window breaks? After listening to a fully grown man snore all night, this sign is poetry to me. It's the bidet for me. If you know, you know. I realize in this moment that I've never been in a hotel in America that trusted human beings not to jump out of the window. I'm not sure how I should feel about that. Nevertheless, as I look out over the ocean, drinking my chilled sparkling water pulled from the mini fridge of my hotel, I realize with a bit of sadness that I'll probably never stay in a hostel again. We had some good times. A bygone era. Goodbye, old friend. Best self has been activated. Now we exercise and recharge our brain. The height of this slide in contrast to this man has led me to the conclusion that American children are soft. I grab dinner from the hotel and laugh at all the ways that I tried to fool myself into believing that I could totally stay in a hostel now. I've never seen cheesecake this way, but now I only want it this way. I grab yet another beverage from my mini fridge and begin planning how we're going to create content for this brand, as well as laughing at the delusional thought that I, an introvert, could attend a 4-day skate festival, so instead, I think we'll go to Paris.